Okay, so I just got the AirPods Pro 3, and this is the latest one. I bought it nearly immediately when it was announced because I'm a commuter in New York and I love to drown out the noise. So I'm definitely a big user of the active noise cancellation, especially being in New York. You don't want to hear all that background noise. So anyway, I bought this AirPods Pro 3. I'm going to give it a quick live test. I have the AirPods Pro 2, and I actually broke my case, but because I was riding my bike, I dropped the case and it broke. But I'm not going to show you guys a crazy unboxing. It literally just like pulled it out. But I'm just going to do a quick test to see how is the sound compared to my AirPods Pro 2. So I got it engraved, so I got my name on there, which is great. And let's see, first off, let's check the fit. So right off the bat, what's really interesting is in my AirPods Pro 2, it feels like a regular bud, right? So I feel like that's like a regular bud. This one feels like the bud feels like a little bit longer. So right off the bat, I just grabbed it in my hand. It feels like a little bit bigger in terms of, I wouldn't say maybe like thicker, it's just a little bit longer and a little bit different. So kind of protrudes, or it's shaped a little bit differently. So let's see if it fits better or worse. I would say that, wow, active noise canceling is definitely a lot better, just because it has a better seal. But these feel like different headphones. Whereas this one feels like, hey, you know what? I got a small bud. This one almost feels curved, where like I kind of have like sport buds or something. Kind of takes from that feeling where it has like a little bit of a curve that goes in. I would say it's definitely something to get used to. It's different. But it definitely hugs my ear a lot better, I would say. It doesn't feel like it's kind of hanging off. So like when I put this in, and it almost feels like, okay, I can still hear everything around me. And it's like there's a bud in my ear. This one feels like it's basically like I'm definitely going in to cover my ear. So the active noise cancellation is significant. I can feel that already, and I just put it in. So I think it's actually a little bit charged. So maybe it's on. Yeah, it's definitely on. So I just now I'm in transparency mode. It definitely is hugging my ear a lot closer. I don't know how it looks. So let's see here. I'm just gonna bring this up here. This is what it looks like. I would say it's definitely a lot more, it's fitting a lot closer, so I don't feel like it's gonna fall out. Again, it kind of like goes into my ear a little bit deeper than the earbuds. So if you're used to like the earbuds and you put it in, it's like very quick. It's almost like feels a little bit lighter weight on the AirPods Pro 2, but the AirPods Pro 3 feels like, you know what, this guy is, you're ready for business. You're about to go do something. And they create almost like a passive seal. So it definitely is different. It feels different. It doesn't feel as casual, where when I kind of take on and off my headphone, this feels more intentional. If I'm taking off my headphone, like I'm going to be doing something. But once it's in, like this feels like I'm committed. I am committed to wearing these headphones and kind of living with this. So that's kind of where the transparency mode, honestly, the noise cancellation is bar none incredible. I think this is great for commuting. I can't hear much from the outside world because when I have them on, and they're also very good form fitting. So I feel like they won't fall off. So if I'm biking or if I'm going around New York, I don't feel like they're just going to slip out. They definitely don't feel like they will slip out. So I think they're solving that problem very well. So I'm happy with that. Let's see, does it actually charge my AirPods Pro 2, the case? No, it doesn't. So my old AirPods Pro 2 case, I broke it. And this is the AirPods Pro 3. It does not fit inside of here because it won't close. So if I need to use my AirPods Pro 2, I definitely have to get a replacement case for that. And I think the live translate, actually I know for sure the live translate, it's in beta right now, and it's supported on, I think it's only for your iPhones that have Apple Intelligence. So There's that. So if you have an old iPhone, I don't think it actually is going to be supported. And then the languages that are being supported right now is basically English and, well, yeah, English, French, German, Portuguese, and Spanish. So those are the languages that are currently supported. What I'm excited for is that later on this year, they're going to be supporting Chinese, both Mandarin, traditional Chinese as well. Chinese, Mandarin simplified, Mandarin traditional. They're going to support Japanese, which is awesome. I really want to go to Japan. They're also going to support Korean and Italian. So I know my travel plans. Basically, if I go out and I want to translate around the world, it'll be really cool to go to either France, Germany, Brazil, Spain, China, Japan, Korea, or Italy. So that way it'll be able to translate. And I think what it does in the demos that I've seen is that it will kind of take down the voice of the person you're speaking to, and it'll basically read it back to you in English. So what'll be cool is also on your phone, it's going to translate if you speak back to them. And they don't have AirPods, of course. So then you basically could just show them your phone, and it would show like the translated what you're trying to say back to them. So you can kind of have a conversation that way. I think you can have a full-blown conversation, but they both have the updated AirPods and the iPhone. So, but when you're traveling overseas and you're asking for directions, that actually is pretty cool. So, and this is pretty darn loud. I feel like I'm screaming to be able to like talk to you right now, and I can't even hear what I'm saying. Like, I can hear it because of the vibration in my throat. Yeah, it is. I can definitely get lost in this music. Oh, it almost feels like I'm wearing AirPods Max without all the weight. This is beautiful. I would say like when I'm raising and decreasing the volume, it almost feels like it's not going in a linear fashion. It feels like there's certain elements of the music that's going up. And to be honest, when I'm increasing the volume, I feel like it's also increasing the bass. It's not like it's all moving linear though. It almost feels like the bass is going up, but then they're not bringing up the highs at the very end until you go all the way up. And at the very end of like the volume scale, I can hear the highs pick up. And it's almost like very subtly the mids are being increased as well. So like the vocal range is like going up as well, but very subtly. It doesn't feel like a massive movement up as I hear with normally other headphones. So it feels almost like it's been tuned according to what parts of the song are being raised. So I think what's interesting with this is actually, I'm listening to YouTube music, and I'm pretty sure with that, the separation is probably not the same as doing something on like an Apple Music, where I'm pretty sure with Apple Music, they probably pre-render some level of the music and are able to offer you like higher fidelity music because they have that library and they can pre-process it. So I feel like maybe an Apple Music might be a really good pair for this. This sounds great though, because I watch a lot of YouTube and I use YouTube Music. So, and I love the music on YouTube Music. It's just such great recommendations. But I would say that this is definitely a great upgrade, especially if you bike ride, if you work out, if you didn't want to do sports headphones, but you wanted headphones that kind of moved with you and they didn't fall off as easily, I would say this is a great purchase. I would just be ready to feel that like once you put them in, you almost like commit to the headphone a little bit more than the old headphones. So, whereas the other one you can kind of pop in and out, this one I feel like I would probably want to go transparency mode. And I'm yelling. I'm actually yelling. The transparency mode is yeah, I'm back on the noise cancellation. Yeah, I mean the transparency mode is very It's very workable. I can definitely hear that there's a little bit of like, it's not the same as having the headphones off, but yeah, it's a great transparency mode. Yeah, it's almost like I'm listening to a microphone of me talking, but it's like pretty close to real life, but not exactly real life, right? I'm comparing it to real life. Um, yeah, so I would say I would lean into that. Once I take them off, it gives a little bit of tug as I'm pulling it out, so it kind of would make me probably not take it out as easily or as often. Again, really committing to it. So, and I think also there's the fitness updates. So if I go into the fitness app, they have these workouts now. And if I go into the workout tab, it looks like it will allow me to do outdoor cycling on here. And that's pretty neat. So previously you had to use the Apple Watch, but it looks like I can just allow myself to cycle and allow basically tracking of me cycling, and it's tracking my heart rate. So that's doing it from the headphones, which is pretty cool. It's not tracking it. I'm not wearing any watch or anything like that. So that's actually pretty neat. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, it's using the AirPods Pro 3 to track my heart rate. It actually has like a tiny little latch in here for the foam ear tips. So now it feels like the foam ear tips are not going to fall out that easily because it literally has like a little built-in latching system that is on the inside of these. I don't know if you'll be able to see in here, but like literally inside you'll see that there's like kind of a little bit of a notch, and that will basically fit on this guy. So literally in here you can see that it'll basically latch in there and knock them out. So right now I'm switching to the small ear tips so that I could like you could see that was like a perfect fit. Yeah, the sound quality is great. They also have a hearing test, so you can tune if you can use it as a hearing aid, and then it also protects kind of loud sounds. So there's a setting in the phone where you could reduce certain decibels to not allow certain very loud sounds to go through your ear. If you ever go to Canal Street and you hear how loud those train tracks are, that's exactly what I use them for. I'll pretty much always have these headphones on when I'm commuting. And when I turn on the transparency mode, it sounds great. If I turn on I just turned on the noise cancellation, incredible. I don't hear anything right now, and I'm not playing any music. Literally, it eliminates like most of the sounds around me because there's a passive seal as well as the active noise cancellation. I would liken it very similar to having like the AirPods Pro Max on. When you have the AirPods Pro, and that's a very expensive headphone, but like you can feel the weight of that headphone on your ear. This one, you feel the weight of the headphone kind of inside your ear here because it's creating that seal. So I would say you don't feel a weight around or on top of your head, but you do feel a little bit of something is inside your ear, and it's creating like a little bit of a passive seal. It won't fall off. It can also track your heart rate. So with the updated iOS 26, you basically now have the workout app on here on your iPhone. So if you go to the workouts there, you can bike ride, you can strength train, you could do your walk, and you don't actually have to have your Apple Watch on, which, you know, for me, if I don't, that my Apple Watch always dies. I'd rather be able to just track my heart rate from my headphones when I'm doing a lift or something like that, because I'm not really caring about my steps at that point. Similarly, for a bike ride, I really only wear the watch for the heart rate and to know kind of my distance. I can actually now do that through my iPhone. So I think for cycling, for lifting, and kind of wearing the headphones and doing like HIIT workouts and stuff, you want your heart rate tracked. These headphones are great. They're not going to fall off. I think this is perfect for someone who's trying to get into fitness and wants to have really good music. And the sound quality is incredible. It's very good. I would assume that Apple Music probably sounds a little bit better because whenever I increase the volume it doesn't increase kind of linearly. It seems like as I get through the higher levels of the volume, it like picks up the mids, and then at the very end, it'll pick up the highs. It definitely gets loud enough. It gets pretty loud, and I think I can definitely get lost in the music, which is what I'm looking for. It stops itself right before like I feel like I'm going to hurt my ears, like almost feels like I'm like in a club. And to be honest, it's probably a good thing for my ears. I would say it's definitely right at the limit of like, okay, great. This is loud and this is great. I think louder than that would be, honestly, I'd like the option to go a tiny bit louder. It might be because I have my reduce loud noises setting on the headphone settings. But if it went up just a tiny bit louder, it would definitely allow me to like lose myself. But I'm probably causing hearing damage at that point, to be honest. So I'm not really going to be listening to it at those levels for that often. I would say daily, and for a good workout, these are definitely better than the AirPods Pro 2. And then from the AirPods Pro 1, similarly, I would say the hop between the 1 and the 2 was like not that significant. But the hop between the 2 and the 3, this definitely feels more significant. Like I definitely feel like this is an upgrade, and it's changing the way that the ANC is working. So I think this is definitely worthwhile, and it's worth it. Again, if you want something that you want to take in and out very often, I would go with the AirPods Pro 2. I think that one's a good medium. This is definitely like, more than medium. It's almost like a high level of active noise canceling, as well as because it has a little bit of a passive seal. So I think it's a buy. I would get it, and I'm very happy with the purchase. And the case, battery life, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it's probably all just fine. So that's it. Thank you guys. I feel like they're very accurate, right? Like they're trying to maintain their accuracy, and it doesn't feel like it's being distorted in any kind of way. So what I'm actually interested in is maybe trying the Apple Music, because I'm curious if the music sounds that much better. Really to get the full crisp sound of the instruments. I feel like that would feel, if it feels like a live band in my ear every time, that might be worth it. I'm sure like those mixes, you probably won't get that same level of fidelity, because in mixes and stuff, when people are mixing, some of them are very talented, but some of them, they may not master the music so well. But I think with like official songs that have gone through like professional audio production, these would definitely bring it out. I listen to YouTube music, and to be honest, I love the mixes that I hear in there. And for me, it's like the variety of music that I like. But, this actually is making me think of trying like Apple Music a lot more, to give that a shot. So anyway, that's the review. That's kind of what I feel about these headphones. I think they're great, and they just hit the market. So I would go ahead, if you're a sports person and you need, sports buds for getting to the gym, or taking a long bike ride, or, tracking your workouts, I would say definitely these AirPods Pro 3 are great. Hands down, I'm happy with the purchase, and no regrets. So that's it. All right, cool. Thanks guys. Bye.